Hello, everybody. We're live on YouTube for our 0 concurrent viewers at the moment. This is episode 105.
No shit.
BFS Live. It is Thursday, September 4th. It is 2025. And we're here with Chris Volkwine, also known as Baboon, South Jersey legend and professional ramp builder in the concrete space. How you doing?
Doing pretty all right.
That's great. I'm all right. I'm still kind of recouping from my vacation, getting everything back up and running, and bikes fixed and camping gear put away and the bowl finished. You know, I'm always doing a million things all the time.
Never stops.
You flew into Rochester last night. I flew you in on our BFS private jet.
Yeah. Thanks for that. It was beautiful. Smooth ride.
Where were you?
I flew in from Boise. That's where our next job will be starting in like a week and a half. Before that, I had drove out to Bellingham, Washington to see my brother, ride a bit. And before that, I was just finishing up a job in Utah.
Wow. All over the place.
Yeah, we're moving.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm as you know, we've been hanging out all day. We've been talking skate parks and life, and I'm like 48 hours into a fast, so I'm like feeling kind of loopy, so I hope I can keep it together, stay as sharp as I normally am.
Sure, we can make it work.
Yeah. So before we get going, let everyone know I just posted the BFS fall calendar. So that's, we go to winter hours in October. We got, early openings on Veterans Day and Columbus Day, because we're sticking with Columbus Day here at BFS. Got the BFS season kickoff party coming up. That's first week of October. More information on that. And Halloween scavenger hunt. And I'm working on some scooter event in November, a jam and a swap meet kind of deal. And as always, you can grab us on Patreon if you want to support what we're doing here, support the podcast, support the skate park. It goes a long way, $5 a month. It really helps me out. I'm at that point in the year right now where we're at the end of the summer, don't have any money left. Summer camps are over. And after I pay rent, actually I didn't have the money for rent this month, but that's normally how this is time of year, post-COVID skate park life. I kind of go into debt around this time of the year, and I have a line of credit, and I have a credit card, so I could put stuff on the credit card and then pay it off with a line of credit, and then pay off. So I always have 60 days, and 2 months will get me to November. So it's kind of just how the nature of a seasonal business is. But with Patreon, thank you to all my wonderful Patreon supporters all year long. I have $12,000 sitting in my Patreon account right now. So come September, if I have a slow September, my rent's covered. So thank you, Patreon supporters. You can join there at searching on Patreon. Link in the bio. Blah blah blah. So anyway, the show.
Yeah.
This is Baboon. He works for Pivot Customs, a concrete skate park company. He travels the country building parks. I'm really excited to have you on the show because I've been reviewing skate parks. I live in the wooden skate park world. You live in the concrete skate park world. I don't know anything about that world. So this is really exciting because I want to get into consulting for skate parks and design stuff. So having a better understanding of how they're built and what the relationship between the builders and the designers are kind of will help me on my journey. And I'm sure our listeners are all riders, and they're very interested in, how the F do you build a skate park out of concrete? It's crazy. I see they have those concrete guns.
Yeah,
that seems pretty sick.
It's the best stuff in the world.
It's probably the funnest part of the job.
One of my favorite tasks for sure, and that's like a major role of mine is being the nozzleman.
The nozzleman.
ASA certified nozzleman.
Oh,
I'm official.
For the viewers who are listening, we do have a friend off screen. If you think we're all like who the hell are they talking to? Just so you know, we're not entirely crazy. So anyway, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I've known you for a while through the bike scene, through
Yep.
Brett Taco. You were South Jersey, I was Central Jersey, which exists, and we've overlapped. And I see you out in the space doing stuff here and there, and it's really cool, and I admire that.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Yeah. It's been a crazy ride of like, I don't know. It was kind of waning in years of like, I was never going to be anybody really in bikes, and then I started building parks, and now I'm like more involved and more in it and out there than ever. It's been really cool.
Cool. Well, that's my first question is, who are you? It's my first question for every guest.
Yeah.
Who are you, and what is your relationship to action sports more broadly?
Yeah. I'm just some guy that does concrete. I started riding bikes when started riding a real bike and when I was like 4 and just never stopped. Like walking sucked from day one. And I was just always rode BMX. Never really strayed anywhere else. Like I rode a little bit of moto when I was little. My dad was real into that, and yeah, grew up building jumps and wood ramps in the backyard and mostly dirt jumps forever. And then also like two of my uncles run a concrete business back home, so started doing concrete and masonry pretty young with them.
Oh, we'll see the background on that before the skate park.
Yeah.
It's pretty convenient.
Yeah, it worked out, and like I always wanted to build parks, but bike riders don't build concrete parks. It's just not really a thing, especially, before recent times. And so no, it was kind of a foregone conclusion. And it was actually at Cranks that I met Jim Delaval. It was like OG plywood hood dude, if anybody's familiar. Shout out Jim D, he's the man. But he was about to build a pump track in Philly, just dirt. Started working for him, and then it just snowballed from there.
So you're saying there's not a lot of BMXers in the skate park, concrete skate park construction world?
Yeah, no. It's getting to be more just because there's such a need for people. Like, there's so much work doing concrete parks that they're pretty much grasping at straws for folks. So, like, we're getting more in, and I'm trying to bring on more and more riders to my crew now, which has been fun. But until, last year, I'd only worked with skateboarders.
And so generally everyone in the space is a skateboard? Like, there aren't just normal concrete guys that happen to build skate parks?
There's a handful of companies that will hire like just regular concrete dudes, and those dudes kill it. But generally speaking, it's pretty much all skateboarders, which is awesome.
And you want people that like really give a shit when they're shaping.
Yeah, and it's not worth it to anybody else, right? Like, this is a stupid life to live if you don't really care about what you're doing. Like,
heard that, brother.
We're not getting paid that much better, or maybe even as much as like regular concrete dudes to travel and never be home. Like, if you don't really care about it, why? There's way better jobs to get than this. It's awesome if you care. You know, like, I love it. I'm not trying to dissuade anybody from coming, but like, there's no reason to do it if you're not in it. And it's kind of it really helps to know why you're doing, like, why things are important. Like, if you don't use a skate park, you don't know what the difference between a 7.6 and a 6.6 radius is. Like, who cares if it's a little lumpy? Who cares if the transition is a little bumpy at the bottom, or why this reveal has to be exactly what it is?
So, what is your job title? And, like, generally speaking, what do you do?
So I'm a foreman of a crew. So I do, I do like the scheduling for jobs. I do ordering, or at least would orders, and then the office will like actually order. I just give everybody quantities, put together the crew, and then on site, like, I show up to a grass field and I leave with a skate park. From all I handle all the earthwork, like, we were installing drains most of the time, and Yeah,
doing
it's
everything.
we do. I do
Heavy equipment,
it all.
putting in drainage, digging out, backfilling, everything.
Yeah, and that's a good reason why I love it too. Is like it's not the same thing every day. Like there's a process, and like you're not just doing like I'm tying rebar Monday through Friday. I'm pouring sidewalks Monday through Friday or whatever. It's like there's this process. The amount of time it takes obviously is dependent on how big the park is, but it's like it's nice being able to like work through something rather than just endless sidewalk or endless one task.
Are there ever times where you show up and it's already like the site is prepped for that stuff? Or are you generally doing all of that for every build?
Here and there we'll have the city do like some rough grading or install the drains, which having somebody else do drainage is awesome because we're just not tooled for that to do that safely.
What does that mean when you say that you're not tooled?
We don't have big, like you need giant trench boxes, and like if it's not a deep park, if it's not deep bowls in it to where trenches are only like 5 feet deep or something, it's not that like there's not really an element of danger. But like we did Dallas, the drains are 16 feet from the surface of the ground. Like
so you're getting like safety concerns, OSHA kind of stuff.
Yeah, you need to be like. It gets into a whole nother level. We don't do if it's that serious a drain stuff. We don't do it. But it's just a pain in the ass to begin with. That there's people that do that every day that could do it faster.
Yeah. Okay.
I always try to push for somebody else to do drains.
Yeah, and you work. So I mentioned earlier you work for Pivot Customs.
Yeah.
And so, what you're going to say is based on your experience in working with that company.
Yeah.
But generally, the stuff you're saying applies roughly to most of the builders, or is it differ much between the different companies?
There's a handful of people that maybe do things a little differently, like your spawn ranches. A lot of the parks that all look the same may have a little different process and just have local contractors kind of set more stuff up and send a few guys out, maybe.
I've heard of companies that do all the like banks and transition stuff and then have a local company do all the flat bottoms.
Yeah, and that very rarely will sub out a flat. It's happened maybe, I don't know, 3 or 4 times in the almost 10 years I've been doing it. But generally, we want to finish the park. But for the most part, it's pretty much the same process for everybody, besides, fine details.
And of course, you'd like to finish the flat bottom because you'd like to at least roll around on
it.
You don't want to do all that work and then leave.
Yeah.
At least roll around it once, right?
Right. And, I mean, just quality assurance. Like, you can really ruin a park by doing the flats bad.
Yeah, sure.
Especially it's not usually very simple flat. There's big flat guys are used to making big flat stuff, pitch one way but with a skate park, there's just random ledges in the middle of giant slabs, and there's so many different, the drainage is so intricate. But if you run a screed the wrong way between 2 points that are right, it can be wrong. Mm-hmm. It's hard to maybe visualize that, but it's just real, it has to be right.
Yeah, I believe that. You said you've been doing this for almost 10 years. Do you have any rough idea of how many skate parks you've built or how many per year you're doing?
I mean, it really varies. I probably worked on 2 parks last year, and I think the most I've worked on in a year was 8 or 9. But I'd say probably average about 4, right in the 40, 50 range of parks.
Okay, that's pretty good. Obviously, that must depend very much on the size of the park and a lot of other things.
Yeah. I mean, we've been on some jobs are under 2 months. Some are. I'm getting ready to do over a year project next year starting. So.
And that was actually going to be my next question. Was from the day you show up, roughly how long does it take? But you said that's 2 months to a year.
Our average is probably about 3 months. The average 8 to 10,000 square foot park.
So if someone's getting a skate park being poured in your town, right, and they're sitting there watching, they're going, "What the, taking so long?" What are there common hang-ups in the projects that slow it down, or is it just the nature of the work? It just takes that much time.
I mean, there's always something, but generally, like, that's just how long it takes. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I think we've found a pretty good balance of being able to move through a project like in what we feel is a reasonable amount of time while keeping quality where we need it to be. There's some folks that really charge through projects and get it done faster, but
Sacrifice some quality.
yeah, and I'm not really willing to take the risk of, like, sometimes that works out really well for them and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
I would much rather stay in control, and, like, I love pouring a lot of concrete, but it's not really about making me happy. It's, you know, we're selling a product.
It's great that you love to pour concrete. That's what you do for a living.
Yeah, it's sick.
You love when someone does something and they're like, I love doing the thing.
Yeah.
That's what you want. You're the guy I want building my skate park.
Right. Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, last year in Dallas, we had a week where we averaged 40 yards of shotcrete every day, which is
What's
like
that 40 what's 40 yards of concrete look like? Like what's a
four
truck?
full trucks
4 trucks.
of shotcrete, which is like shotcrete is where you're talking like out of the hose, like yeah, 130 psi of concrete and like an insane amount of pressure of or 120 psi of air getting added to like 1200 psi of concrete coming out of a hose. It's the best shit in the world.
What would happen if you hit someone with that spray?
They're not going to have a good time. I mean, it leaves I should know all this better, but it leaves the tip of the hose, like, I want to say 150 plus miles an hour.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's concrete. So, I mean, it's spreading apart, it's rock. We've all been blasted
It
a little bit here and there. Yeah, it's not like, I mean, really like on the peripheries of it, because it, you know, comes out of a 2-inch hose and it goes real wide depending on how far. But like, somebody told me it was at a point that like when a concrete hose blows up, the pressure with which it blows up is like equal to 4 hand grenades.
Oh shit.
I mean, I can't. Somebody's probably going to fact check me and say that's wrong, but it is a lot.
Is it true that you ate a dog once?
No comment.
Okay.
No, I have never eaten a dog, Brett Taco.
Question in the chat from Austin, who was here earlier hanging out in the shop. He said, how do you get into this particular trade?
At this point, kind of just ask.
So because you're saying there's a dearth of people in the, you know, you basically go to Instagram to Pivot Customs or whatever, respond and say, hey,
yeah,
I want a job.
There's definitely some companies you can just cold call and reach out to, and like I've had friends that have hit up Spawn Ranch, for example, and like got a call back years later, like, hey, you want to come work? Because they're just looking.
Put you on file, yeah.
Yeah, like they particularly are selling an insane amount of parks and doing a crazy amount of work, and have kind of idiot-proofed their process enough that anybody could work for them.
We got a question in the live chat. Tell the story about the concrete hose that blew up.
Oh.
You just mentioned it blows up with a lot of force, so this has happened before to you?
Oh, yeah. It happens.
Is it common, or is it like...
It's not common, but like it's not a thing that... It's always a thing that can happen.
Yeah, it's like 9/11.
Yeah. I think the one that they're probably talking about is in Miami. We were doing Lot 11 Skatepark. Excuse me. And it was pretty early on in the job. We had this like old timer Cuban dude pumping for us. And
what does that mean?
What?
When someone's pumping for you?
Somebody we don't own a pump. that the actual pump that you dump concrete out, and that pushes.
Oh, so the concrete truck is pouring into a pump, and then the pump is pressurizing it to come out through the hose.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, when you said you were in Miami and you had a Puerto Rican guy pumping you, I thought I was thinking something different.
Well, that's a whole nother story. But yeah, so. But yeah, so old timer
running the pump,
doing like running the actual pump, and like concrete leaves that pump at like over 1,000 psi, right? It's less by the time it gets all the way out, but they were dealing with a lot of crazy pressure and stuff. But it's common to want, like, it's nice to have a softer hose at the end, and they get soft as they're more maneuverable. Then they get soft as they get used.
I'm the other way around.
Yeah, right. And so he put this old, like, clapped hose at the end where I was going to be holding it. And usually, like, yeah, cool. I was, like, looking at it, and right at the very end, like, right where I'm holding it, like, in front of my face, it's, like, super frayed and, like, way too...
Yeah.
Like, just not messing with that thing, right? So I'm like, dude, that thing got to go. Like, can we put that somewhere else? You got another hose. And he was fighting me on it. Finally, I just kind of pushed him out the way, popped the hose, moved it to, like, the middle of the line where there was nobody around, wouldn't be anybody standing near it. Got through the whole pour. Sure enough, as he's, like, as he's cleaning out the hose at the end, it plugged up right there.
Mm-hmm.
Blew up. And so we're Lot 11's under I-95 in Miami, so there's highway about 40 feet above us. That thing blew up, and there was like a 60-foot wide ring of concrete on this roof of the bridge.
40 feet up.
40 feet up. It was just everywhere.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. There's an element of danger in work, which is, I don't know, that's kind of cool. I like it. Like,
I mean, all work is like that, man. Every time I'm using my circular saw, I always know I'm always around the corner from losing a finger.
Yeah, I very much enjoy, and it's super, like, physical. You're wrestling a, like, heavy hose of concrete. You
look like a fucking guy that would do concrete work. You're big.
I got an easier time with it than most, but but it is very, like, there's a lot of little dudes that do it also.
Yeah.
It's like everything else, you learn how to use your body.
Yeah, for sure. Let me see. From a purely construction perspective, right? Mm-hmm. From, like, the moment you get to the site, what goes into building a concrete park? Like, give me, like, the rough framework. You don't have to go super nuanced, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, generally we're showing up to a grass field. First thing, we strip the grass, get all the organic material out. If we got to do drains, that comes next. Otherwise, start building up or doing the rough grading.
So that's either building up or down ultimately for where the park is going to sit.
Yeah, you kind of get your levels, and then you'll start really laying out things like a little more fine.
Now, are you using, like, GPS data for, like, where the park is going to sit? Like, so it's obviously more technical than just grading it out, right?
Now we are. Just in the last, like, year or two, we started have, like, a program. I have an iPad and a whole little, like, a little brain on a tower that it dials in your GPS to, like, couple millimeters.
Yeah. When they built the downtown park here in Rochester, a friend of mine worked for a company that bid on the job, and he had the plans. You know, and they're like, they fold out this big, like, you know, all the different versions of it. So I have, like, this giant roll of paper for the downtown skate park plans. So I've seen how there's all these, like, little GPS data points on the early. So I kind of, like, I have a rough idea looking at just the plans.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, it used to be that you could, like, pay a surveyor to do it, but, like, it really kind of sucks because they come out once, put some stakes in, and then, well, that stake is 6 feet under dirt. You know, you got to build up from there. So it's like, I always kind of just enjoyed doing it myself.
Yeah.
It's kind of a weird puzzle of like figuring it all out, pulling it, and how to do that, how to lay everything out the most concise way, and not be in my own way.
Yeah.
But now we just have the GPS thing, and it's super easy because you can go back to it easy.
So generally, when you're in the grading part of the build, are you digging down, building up, or meeting in the middle, or is it dependent on the location and the specifics of the job?
It's really dependent. It depends on the lay of the land. Like if you're, you gotta factor in what materials underneath. Like we got geotech geotech reports for everywhere to where they drill in and pull up core samples like 10 feet down or whatever it is, tell you exactly what material is there. Like, that'll tell you if you need to, if there's even a good sub base underneath you at all to build. Usually it's kind of a mixture of both, to where you're digging out your bowls and you're building up maybe the decks and digging out in the middle, or building stages, or different levels of street course. So, but every job's different.
Are there scenarios? Maybe this is before you're there. I don't know. Are there scenarios where the ground underneath where you want to build this concrete park can't support the weight of the concrete? Is that a situation that can happen?
It's never been something that's happened to me. Well, it's kind of not true. There's ways around everything, and you can always over excavate and then repack stuff back in.
Okay.
It was like in Dallas last year, we were on the downside of a dam, it was the worst place they could have put a skate park.
Okay.
Truly, that whole project was a nightmare. But we ran into in one corner of the park just feet and feet of like pure mason sand, like just pure sand, like at the beach.
Wow.
And
in Dallas.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because it was just like, I think it was just refuse from the dam project that they just plowed over to this zone.
Oh, okay.
And then capped over with, better dirt, but only a couple feet deep. And so we got down there and we ended up having to just dig extra deep down, then refill it with road base to kind of bridge over the soft stuff.
Okay.
So there's always, ways around things, but you definitely run into some less than ideal stuff under you.
Yeah, I know when they built the skate park downtown, there was more soil remediation costs. Being right here obviously in the skate park, it's right along the river. If you see any old pictures of Rochester, both sides of the river, like the whole length of the city's municipality, was just industry. Because everyone wanted access to the river, and the canal, the Erie Canal actually crossed downtown, right in downtown.
Oh, really?
Yeah, actually, the highway over here, 490, the base of the highway was the original Erie Canal bed. And it went into downtown, and it crossed over the river there. So, that was right where our skate park was like this interesting wedge between where the Erie Canal was, an Erie Canal water feeder that went parallel to the river and the river. And there was like a train line. Like all the old pictures of the area are like crazy.
Yeah.
So I guess they started digging down and they found all this, I'm guessing like brick and stuff from old buildings. And then it was like this, we didn't know this was here. And it was like, we needed more money for the project apparently. Yeah. Which was like frustrating it, because for people that know, I was and still am on the board, the Friends of the Rock City Skate Park, which is a whole other thing. We have Jimmy Taker Jr. in the chat, and AV family. Uncle Chris, it's Mikey. Please shout me out.
What up, Mikey Meatballs? How you doing, bud?
Mikey Meatballs in the chat.
That's my nephew. That's funny.
Mikey, how do you get the nickname Mikey Meatballs?
Just a pudgy little kid.
Okay.
Well, like baby,
I just imagine everyone in your family is just like you.
Not really.
Oh, really?
I mean, not both of my brothers, you wouldn't think were my brothers.
Oh, really?
At all. They're more your size than mine.
Okay.
I don't know. My mom got electrocuted right before I was born. I've just been different since.
All right. Wow.
There was a short in the refrigerator. She touched the doorknob, closing the refrigerator, touching the door, got electrocuted, and then I didn't move for like 2 weeks. She thought I was dead, and then I was born.
Okay.
And then immediately,
dog.
Immediately, like giant dome, like that poor lady. Immediately, just picked my head up and started looking around, like in the delivery room. Like the nurse was walking me out and over my shoulder. My parents were like, cupcaking, whatever. And they're watching me go out the room. And I just picked my head up and looked at him. And Dad was like, is that normal? You don't supposed to be able to do that. But here we are.
I stayed over at Pat Quinn's house the other night.
Oh, yeah.
His baby is very much his baby.
Oh God, yeah, I bet.
I mean, it's so it just looks like a mini Pat Quinn.
Yeah,
it's so funny.
that's awesome.
Okay, my daughter is a year and like a third, 17 months in there, and his kid is 9 months max. Literally half the age of my daughter, same size.
Dang, that's crazy.
They were several weeks early. I don't remember how many, 5 weeks early, something like that, and the baby was still 10 pounds.
Wow. That's insane.
Yeah.
Damn.
But I digress. Let's see, where do we go? Okay, so you get there, you're grading out, you might be doing drains. You said you'd like if someone else were to do the drains.
Yeah.
Then what happens?
Next step, start hanging coping. And just really get in your like your first that's sorry.
Yeah, what does hanging coping mean? That's what scooter kids do, and they're like right in your way the whole time.
So like anything that has metal coping or pool block, we'll lay that out first, get it up to grade, and then hang it up on conduit, like just regular galvanized electrical conduit.
Okay.
Pound that into the ground, bend it over, hang the coping, and that gives us like our first fixed points to work off of.
So you get this floating coping already.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you start cutting out dirt from there, shape everything, do the fine grading, form once that's done, form your bottom of the quarter pipe, top of the quarter pipe, and then rebar, fill it with concrete, strip those forms, rebar the rest of it, and put it all together.
And then, so I'm assuming there's a certain depth to the concrete. So when you're shaping the dirt behind it, you're aiming for what, like how thick?
6 inches.
About 6
About
inches.
6 everywhere. Sometimes it'll be a little less in the
6
flats.
inches.
Yeah.
Flats usually
Measure
a
with the
little bit
manly.
more.
Yeah.
Again, I'm gonna keep going back to the Rochester skate park. Our park is underneath the bridge.
Yeah.
Frederick Douglass, Susan B. Anthony Bridge.
Mm-hmm.
One of the parameters in which we had to design around was that these trucks have to get under the bridge to do inspections.
Right.
So like I think the concrete may have had to have been thicker for like a big boom truck, and the features had to be wide enough apart that truck could drive in and get around everything.
Yeah, it's definitely, especially dealing with DOT stuff like that. That's that Lot 11 park in Miami. There had to be a way to drive pretty much everywhere in the park. What ended up making like one of our most like returned to features is it's just like a really long, mellow rail and ledge, like a 25-foot long, like 2-foot tall hubba.
Oh, yeah.
Like it was we all kind of looked at it like it's a little goofy, and then like once it was put together and like concrete, it was like it's everybody's favorite thing at that park.
So you had like a 25-foot flat rail and ledge.
Yeah, but like just
down.
slightly down.
Yeah, so what's the
It was about 2 foot.
2 foot
of elevation over like 20.
Very mellow.
Really, really mellow and
can see
drawn
that.
out. But like, Jamie Foy comes to mind, a dude that just destroys that thing.
Yeah.
Like multiple tricks on one. Like you can do a grind on a board, pop off, and do another grind.
Oh, okay.
With like if you're a real quick feet kind of dude, you know. or just really lock into a super long grind. But that was
skaters love that. Skaters love anything that you can do that makes it like slightly better than what it is, but not actually much harder. So they could be like, "Oh, I did it on the
Yeah.
Like,
Big on qualifiers, like
like skaters love a Euro gap, which is just like a glorified flyout, right?
Yeah.
They love a down rail that's like basically a flat rail with a little bit, and it's a down rail. They love counting stairs. That's skate culture.
Yeah, calling a 5-foot mini ramp a half pipe. That always bothers me, dude. It's not a half pipe if it's under 10 foot.
Oh, that's interesting. I get that in the comments a lot in my videos. People get butthurt about what you call a half pipe and what you call a mini ramp. Interesting. So, wow, we don't need to open that can of worms.
Under 10, not a half pipe.
I just call anything that's a half pipe, and then there's
a
mini, a micro, a vert,
right?
But interesting. Under 10 is not a half pipe, in your opinion.
I
have never in my life rode a half pipe. There's actually a vert ramp in Rochester.
Really?
Not in Rochester. Out in one of the suburbs, there's some guys who they like that, and they have a tent company, and they have this giant facility where they build tents for big events all over the country. Big deal. And
sick.
They built like a Tony Hawk spec vert ramp in this warehouse.
That's sick.
It's big. It's like really, really big.
Yeah, I haven't ridden a big ramp in a while.
Please shout out my friend. His name is Robert. His nickname is Bobby Bubba. He hates that name. And Rob the Rat. Okay. That's your nephew?
Oh, is that still them? Yeah, sick.
How old's your nephew?
I should know that better.
9?
Roughly.
Okay. Keep it PG
Man, I'm bad. I should know that.
Okay, so.
But yeah, shout out Bobby the Rat or something. Bobby Bubby.
Bobby Bubby and Rob the Rat in the chat. What about that? So you hang some coping. So the ground's graded. You're putting some fixed points for coping and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And then what's next? Rebar?
So once you define grading and you do forms, wood forms at the bottom and top of the ramp, sides.
Okay, that holds all the concrete in place.
That's okay. and then you'll do your rebar, because if you start trying to bar before the forms are in, it's going to be high or low.
Okay.
Then forms, rebar, concrete, and then we do all the features first.
Now, the concrete, is it all the same concrete, or is there different concrete on the surface versus the flats? Is it all generally the same?
Nah. So shotcrete is different than regular concrete. It's the same base materials, but different in just slightly different quantities. And then for all features, like anything steep, we use shotcrete. It's shot against the wall. It sticks up there. And then ledges and stuff will be just usually poured out of the back of the truck. But even that is like smaller stone than your average concrete, just so it's easier to work with.
Okay.
And then the flat work is slightly higher PSI concrete, but basically just regular flat mix. So bigger stones. Pretty basic stuff.
So the concrete we're building skate parks with, would other people be using the same type of mix? And what type of applications would that mix be used in?
It's a little bit stronger than your average sidewalk mix.
Okay.
A little higher PSI, more cement. But like if I'm trying to think of other applications. Just be any like high traffic, high pressure area. Like if you're going to have big trucks driving on it or something like that, you'll use a higher PSI concrete.
Okay.
Or, I'm sure in bridge applications or anything structural like that, that's where like the higher PSI would come in.
Okay. So then we rebar, then your concrete. You said you do the features first, so that would be like everything but the flats. Is what you said.
All your ramps first. Generally speaking, you do the bowl first. Is like you want to skate the bowl first, so let's build that first.
Okay. And you have the leeway to make that call, or we're gonna start over here and we're gonna do that first?
I mean, the job dictates it in that, like, this next job, for example, like the way the skate park is shaped in the overall project, like we're building inside of like a whole sports complex.
Okay.
And the way that job is going and the path that they're working, we have to do like this weird pump track thing, and we're doing like an outdoor concrete roller derby rink.
Oh wow!
Which seems real weird. It's
Where's
not
this, Dallas?
This
No,
is
sorry.
in Boise.
Boise.
I didn't
Idaho.
think I didn't think roller derbies were concrete, but not my decision to make. Tell me put concrete, I put concrete.
Okay.
But sorry, the way that job is shaped, like we have to work in a certain direction. Mm-hmm. Kind of have to work our way out of a corner.
Oh, okay.
But generally, if it's just the skate park and we can access everywhere from everywhere, then we'll do the bowl first. It's just nice to have something to roll around. It's very rare that we're building in a park that already has a park.
All right, so then you do concrete, blah, blah, blah. Flats go last.
Yeah.
And then there's probably some...
Do flats
painting
and
or some
then,
bullshit later.
paint all the coping.
And you guys do all that as well?
Yep.
Any of the
Yeah,
artistic...
I just got done a week of it with just me and two guys. I don't like that. I don't much like painting. I'm not a paint. I still have paint on me. It's been a week I've been off of work.
It's a week of painting.
Yeah.
They did at our park. They got this giant Rochester flower. Oh, have you seen that logo? They had it on the flat bottom. It lasted like a week.
Dude, it's the silliest stuff. Like, it's so ridiculous to be painting concrete that's gonna get skated.
Yeah.
Like, I've been barking up that tree for the company forever. Like, we only really do like sides of ledges and vertical walls that don't really get used. It still gets scraped off immediately. It's so like, I'm done having the argument, but like, it's
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
It looks 1,000 times worse immediately than just not doing it. Like, I don't know. Yeah, you get tire marks, you get scuffs on the side of the concrete always, but like, it's way better than looking at scratched off paint and and then somebody at the city has to come back and try to repaint it, make it look nice. It's an uphill battle for them. They're going to then hate the skate park.
Yeah, it looks bad.
It's like
The thing we wanted you to do that you said wouldn't look good now looks bad, and I'm mad at you for doing the thing I told you that you told me was
yeah, it's so silly, and it's all for people that don't use skate parks. Nobody that actually uses a skate park cares what color the ledge is.
Yeah.
If the ledge slides, it's a good ledge.
Some skate parks are like that kind of like reddish, pinkish concrete. Is that a style choice, or is that like a material situation?
Nah, yeah. So that's just it's just aesthetic. Red is just the cheapest color of concrete. Yeah.
Oh, so it's like
'Cause
Pflugerville's like that.
Yeah,
and
every park is that same color scheme of some kind of reddish and some like beige-ish tan.
So it
because
costs,
those are the cheapest colors.
It costs money to add the color into the concrete.
Yeah.
Is it like outrageously expensive? Or like...
Yeah. It little easily double the cost of concrete sometimes.
Wow. So if you were building like a 10,000 square foot. All right, hold on. Let's take a step back. If you're building roughly a 10,000 square foot project, how much of that project's cost is the cost of the material concrete itself, roughly speaking? Is it half, quarter, 10?
No, concrete costs are super low.
Concrete's cheap.
Like under 5% of the total cost of the skate park.
So something that's about 5% could be doubled in the cost. So in the grand schemes, even doubling the cost of the concrete for a color isn't like a huge deal.
Yeah, but you could just make more skate park.
Yeah, that's true. I agree.
And that, I mean, I don't know if it's too inside, whatever, but we spent probably $30,000 in color in Dallas, like probably more than that. And like, that's another ramp.
Yeah.
And like it only makes our job more difficult because we have to like arrange our pour schedule and everything around this color. Like we can't pour this and that at the same time because that's this color, that's that color.
Oh, you're saying they're using two-tone, not just everything.
Yeah,
I can see that being logistically a pain in the butt.
And that's if it was everything's the same color, it looks crazy. Like unless it's natural,
Yeah, true.
Like I get it. You have to with it being a more with cities bringing parks into like more of a visible space and more of a community space. Like I get it has to look nice to everybody.
Yeah, they want it to look good in a picture. So when Houston's looking at Dallas's skate park, like, wow, look how good that looks. Yeah, I get it.
But I mean, personally, for me, aesthetically, just a clean, like monotone concrete colored park looks way better than color. But
you're a purist.
That's me. And it's not about me. It's about the consumer.
Yeah. So there are more materials than just concrete. So obviously the coping and the rebar and the paint.
Yeah.
It's like just generally speaking, what percentage of the cost of building? Let's keep the design out of it. So what percentage of the cost is the raw materials versus the labor? You would say roughly.
That's a good question. I don't. We're a little compartmentalized to where I don't get the like total numbers.
Oh, so you don't get to see that side of it?
Thankfully, no.
Yeah.
Frankly, like, I'm starting to get more into like dive deeper into that, but I haven't really been privy to like the full breakdown.
Yeah, so you're
cost.
Scheduling, but you're not on the pay side of anything, right?
Yeah, like I tell everybody where to be. I tell them how much of what we need.
Yeah.
And then, like, the office has a way to estimate what we're going to use for a park based on the size, and then I tell them like exactly what to order, and then it gets ordered and it gets worked into their budget. Like, I have not a lot of interest in like, I'm not a numbers guy.
Yeah.
Figuring
you don't look
out
like a suit and tie guy.
Yeah, figuring out how much concrete goes into a hole is about as much math as I need to do.
Yeah. So you don't want to be the guy in like the expensive, nice truck that pulls up with his polo with the company name on it and his clipboard.
No, I want to be a caveman that shoots concrete out of a hose.
Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah, brother. All right, well, sticking with just the raw material, not raw material, but materials like between like the rebar and like the coping and angle iron and the concrete, like what's the cost breakdown between those two? Like, is the metal is as expensive as the concrete, or is the concrete?
Everything else would be more. Like, I mean, all the wood we use an insane amount of wood.
Just for the forms, and
for forms, and yeah, we save as much as we can, and we always find somebody in town that like is building a backyard ramp, or there's a DIY close, or I mean, I took all of our scrap wood to I own some property in Utah, like 2 hours from where we were just building, so I took a ton of scrap wood out there. So it kills me to throw anything away.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a hoarder. If I had a place to hoard stuff at, I'd be a hoarder. But yeah, it wouldn't make sense to try to reuse form wood or anything like that. So it costs more to transport it than buy new stuff that's factored into the next budget. But, yeah, I mean, like I said, concrete is relatively cheap, and relatively consistent price, but, wood goes up and down, metal goes up and down. But I don't know the amount, but it's definitely more in everything else than concrete.
Wow. So the concrete itself is actually one of the less expensive parts of building the park?
I mean, probably so.
Probably. Okay. That's interesting. Let me see. Where am I at my questions here? Oh. Yeah, so my next question. How much leeway do you have as the foreman when the time comes, you're spraying the concrete or building the ramps or anywhere throughout that process? Like, is it, here's the blueprint, here's your GPS data points, build it, monkey? Or is it, it's funny because you're Baboon. Or is it like, oh, this is a little funky, like, what do you, because I know better than almost anyone that what it looks like on paper, and then what it looks like when it's half built, and then what it looks like when it's done isn't always the same thing.
Right. It varies by job. Most of the work we do is design build, so we have, excuse me, our company is doing the design and then we're building it. So there's not a lot of hurdles between me and the designer and like changing things. So we do a fair bit of like tweaking stuff. Some jobs, if you're doing a like not design build job, you're pretty locked into like you just gotta put what's on paper.
Let me put up a little clarity there for the listener. You're saying in many instances the company you work for designs it and you build it.
Yes.
In other instances, a different company designs it and then you build it.
Right.
And it sounds like you prefer to do the design and build.
Yes, absolutely.
In your estimation, what percentage of skate parks out there are built by the company that designed it?
Anymore, it's like, I don't know, probably getting closer to 50-50 than
50,
ever.
Okay. And are there reasons why you would want your park built by the company that designed it, or does it make a difference?
For me, everything should be design build.
Okay.
Because you have less designers are like, they only know what's on that computer. That's right. That is infallible to them, right?
Okay.
Like, so when you have another company trying to tell you that, like, hey, can we make this a little tighter? Can we alter this a little bit? And they're from an outside firm or somebody else. Like, if California gives me a design, then I have to say, like, yo, what if this is like this? They're not gonna be okay with me doing something different. And even if they were, it's got to go through like this whole like red tape loophole thing of like redlining changes and getting approved by every stage of construction. Mm-hmm. Whereas like if my guy in the office designs something, I'm just going to do what I want to do.
Because you're on the same team.
Because we're on the same team and we have an understanding of like, he has the trust in me, I have the trust in him, and we know that, like, he knows I'm not going to do something stupid. You know what I mean? Yeah. And, like, and, there's different personalities throughout with all that, but, like, when you're dealing with another company's design, it has to be really, like, the change process has to be really by the book, and that's just never going to happen. It's very rare that it's going to get approved. It's not worth the headache.
Yeah, it checks out.
So we try to do everything. Like, I mean, the way the industry is now and the way the money that's getting thrown around, like, there's certain jobs that you're not allowed to win the build and the bid, which is weird. That's like state politics stuff.
Oh, okay, interesting.
That's a whole other aspect for me. Like, but if perfect world, every park should be design build. I don't know why. I mean, I don't know why it would be beneficial to not. It just seems silly. But they're working on the scale of buildings and different things where it probably makes sense somewhere, but doesn't really make sense in parks.
Okay. I've been visiting a lot of skate parks. I'm doing all these skate park reviews,
Mm-hmm.
and it seems like there's been roughly I would say 3 generations of skate parks.
Mm-hmm.
It's all this stuff, and I think each of these generation kind of lags behind each wave of when action sports are really popular.
Right.
So like that late '90s, early 2000s was like probably the peak of action sports.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you got a lot of skate parks that were built between like '01 and like '04.
Yeah.
Then there seemed to be like a trickle here and there, and then a little maybe 2010 things were starting to get pretty hot.
Mm-hmm.
I think 2008 kind of like slowed it down, but you had some skate parks built then, and now like you have like the floodgates are open and parks
Yeah.
are like getting built like crazy now. So my question was from a construction standpoint, in your tenure as a builder, have you seen the construction practices evolve in the 10 years you've been around?
For sure. I think things are a little tighter. Things are definitely like tighter now, like technically. I think, like there's a big push to like kind of standardize a lot of things, and there's that more emphasis on aesthetics, right? And like the way that companies have gotten there is like they do a lot of like, if you'll notice, a lot of new parks are all like outlined in metal, and everything like the sides of quarter pipes is all metal edging, and like everything's outlined. Like things that don't need coping on it have like C-channel coping.
Yeah.
And all of that stuff is manufactured in a warehouse, shipped out, placed, and then just filled with concrete. That's why you see all those like fill-free ledges that are just like a metal edging and just like a strip of concrete in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like no side walls of the ledge. That's just a chunk of metal that they ship from some warehouse, place there, fill with concrete, and it's faster, easier. You can't mess it up. But like, it's got to be exactly what's there, and so like, it's kind of easy to do all that stuff really well because it's all you're doing the same pieces over and over again, and it's all like very square and cut and dry and simple.
It's almost like new school prefab. Really.
Exactly.
It's like concrete prefab, essentially.
Yeah, because they're designed very boxy and square and similar to old prefab parks, and it's just copy and paste. Like, this is your set of stairs, this is your A-frame, this is your whatever, and like it streamlines the process, I guess, and it does like make it easier to make everything. Makes it easier to keep the quality high, but it's not interesting to me. I don't like doing things that way. It kind of, I don't know. It seems very like copy and paste, paint by numbers.
Yeah.
But it's fair if they were charging less money for that than like more custom, custom skate parks, then I could see that, but they're not.
Okay.
So yeah, they're doing it faster, and they're essentially like paying less to get it done. So it should be cheaper, but that's
So aside from the prefab stuff, just the general process of when you show up to build it, it's been roughly about the same.
Yeah, for me, I mean, we haven't changed much. If we do a non-design build thing, we have to use prefab metal or whatever. That's pretty rare, but for us, we've been doing things just about the same.
Okay. I have a similar follow-up question here, and this is going to be, I'm going to ask you like the same question later in the second half, more about your personal beliefs. But, as we said earlier, the company who builds the park isn't always the one who designs the park. Are the construction practices to get there the same for each builder? or when you build a park for California Skateparks for Spawn versus whatever, do they make you do a different process or a different thickness or a different type of concrete? Like, is there any construction differences between the brands?
There's pretty small details that are different. I mean, it's some companies, like, for example, when we're talking about hanging coping and we pound conduit into the ground and hang it off of that, some people want you to dig footings, pour concrete, hang rebar out, and use that. Like, it's the same thing, but like a different step, like different details of it, you know? There's slightly different standards. Like, some people want all rebar to be continuous, right? So with that, I mean, you think about have your top form behind coping, have your bottom form, and what we do typically is we'll use slip dowels, which is like screw a little piece of plastic to the inside of the form, a little like sleeve goes on top of that. It leaves a negative space in the concrete, and you can just pound in a smooth dowel to connect one slab to the other. And it's really simple, it's really easy. A lot of other people want you to drill through the form, hang rebar out at least like 2 feet, and then pull the forms out around the rebar, and then you can connect that to the flat, which, like, it obviously works. It's the way everybody used to do it. But it's a pain in the ass. You got to trip around rebar all day. When you're dragging a hose around trying to shoot the quarter pipe, you have rebar every foot sticking out behind you, in front of you, and it's just something to trip on, and then you're stepping on that. Well, if you step on a piece of rebar outside of the form, it's moving inside of the form, which is inside of the concrete, so it's creating cavities inside the concrete. There's arguments to be made for both sides, but it's really kind of minimal details like that are really like differences in the process, but there are different, like, little differences like that.
Alrighty. Is there anything you'd like to add about, the construction side, from your professional opinion as a builder? The second half of the show, I want to talk more about your personal opinions, kind of separate from your job as the boss, the foreman.
I don't really know.
Nothing you think people don't anything people you don't think realize or don't know or don't understand, or
that, I mean, the bulk of the work is before the skate park starts being built. Like, the advocacy is, like, that's what makes a difference.
Yeah.
There's, like, we can only do so much on site. I talk about changing things, but I can only change things so much when I get on site on a design build job that the client is okay with me changing things.
Yeah.
But if you show up to meetings, like, you can make change. One of the guys that works for me now started working for me because he lived in the town we were building in, and my company sold them a skate park. They've been doing advocacy for it for a long time. We won the bid. In the design process, they started selling the city a street course and a pump track. And he said, well, I don't want a pump track. Like, we don't want a pump track. That's not what we've been advocating for. Like, kept showing up. And eventually the city was like, okay, well, the only people that seem interested in this say that this is not what they want. There's not a pump track there. There's 2 bowls. So, like, that work's really hard to do. And, like, it's really got to be frustrating, and, like, it's hard to show up for a city meeting or whatever, but it's worth doing. So, like, it's going to take a long time. It's going to take a lot of your time, but do the work. Like, if you want it done the way you want it done, like, show up.
Yeah. And if anyone listening is interested in that, last week's episode, 104, with Rock City Skate Park, we talked all about what went into building the Rochester skate park. Dude, the fruit flies in this room are ridiculous. I don't know why they're in here, what the deal is, but whatever. Yeah, I was just down in Elmira, New York. I posted my review video of that today, and they have literally it's like the Elmira skate park. I had it because he's bored on Facebook. You know, They reached out to me because I do the skate park reviews, and they're like, "Will you come review the skate park?" And then we could kind of use your review as a bargaining chip, you know, with the municipality. Like, hey, this guy apparently knows what he's talking about, I guess. And he said the skate park sucks.
Yeah.
You know? But they really did value my opinion, and you know, a couple people have been messaging me and talking to me, and they've been sharing my stuff in their Facebook group.
Yeah.
You know, 'cause I was at a park in Atlantic Highlands, New Jersey.
Yeah.
And it's probably one of the ones you're just explaining that's all metal, prefab, pour in place. And they had this like kind of like, it's probably like a 1 foot tall mellow bank. Like it's almost like a rail hop, like up and then flat. No rail on it, but there's a concrete ball. And I posted on Facebook, I was like, hey, like, how do you guys feel about features like this at a park? You know, and a lot of people were like, yeah, it's stupid. Like, and then in that particular skate park, you can't even really get speed to even jump over it. Like, it looks kind of cool, but like, whatever. So, like, they would share that in their group. And, you know, and those guys seem really, really interested in getting it right, you know?
Yeah.
Which is, it's great.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like, why do I want an entrance of the Target in
That's what
the skate park? Like, it's so silly. Like, I don't know. I mean, but at the same time, like, a kicker over a fire hydrant is like classic. If you got a big flat area, kicker over a fire hydrant. But like, I don't know.
Yeah, okay, this is perfect because we're going into the personal opinion side of things here.
Yeah.
What I continue to try to advocate for is like putting skate parks into context, right?
Yeah.
Like if there's no other skate park anywhere near you, I don't think you have to go crazy and unique. You can keep it kind of basic, especially if it's a small town, right? Like if you just want to supply your citizens with a park, keep it basic, get it done, right? If you have a lot of parks around and you want yours to stand out, well, then let's start getting weird. You know, you know, if you are in a bigger city and you want to draw tourism, then like let's build that big bowl. You know, it's like you have to have a. I feel like they just don't even think about these things and the context of it, and it's real easy as a more experienced rider to be like, I just wanted to build the thing that I want it to be. You know?
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I don't know. I just.
Yeah, it's a fine line between like, filling the basis needs and like dumbing things down.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, you can do both. You can like, you can get everything right.
Yeah.
It's not that complicated, you know. Like, you think about, like the early 2000s parks. Your old Grindline, Dreamland parks, like those bowls are real big and gnarly, really cool. Street courses are not worth existing.
yeah, that's fair.
Right, like
now it's the other way around.
And now, yeah, there's like a middle ground where like they're trying to blend the two, and like your maple shades, like you have bowl in the back, and then like this half bowl street course blends into the transition zone, which like I mean that's what I grew up with, so like it's pretty cool. But it, you know, I love Maple Shade, but like it doesn't handle people as well as it could.
No, yeah, of course.
And those like that era of like trying to blend the street stuff into the transition stuff, you know, doesn't handle volume well. But now it's like every bowl sucks. Every modern bowl sucks. I've not ridden anything good in a really long time because it's like it's trying to do too many things at once. And like you can't. I think there's just. It's really hard to get it right on paper, and I think like with the way the skate park building is going, you can't change a lot of things. There's not a lot of, like, being able to get in the field and say, oh, man, if this cooked around just a little bit more, you could rip to that wall or whatever it is. It's like, here's your coping, put it where it's supposed to go, and that's it. And it's got to simultaneously be small enough for Johnny to drop in on day one, and then, like, but also be the only transition that, like, somebody that's been riding forever gets to ride. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I think, yeah.
I mean, it definitely seems like a lot of these modern parks, they try to cram too much into too small of a footprint, or they try to make too small of a park have overly unique features, right?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if your park is huge, cool, build the cool, unique thing. As long you already have a cool flat bar, you already have a cool flat ledge. All right, now build that cool flat rail over the grass gap or whatever. Because you
Right.
like, but if it's your only flat rail, don't make it like eccentric like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks cool, but like it, yeah,
Yeah, when it comes to the base, like, less is more for a flat rail. Just make a long flat bar.
Yeah.
It's in the name, flat bar. It's a bar that goes flat. You skate on it. Like, don't try to do anything different. Don't put extra rails in the middle, horizontal, so you catch your toe in it or something. Just make a flat bar. Make a good, straight, flat ledge. If you want to do, like, a manual pad couple ledge setup, like a little weird ledge land, like, cool.
You know what kills me is when I was just in the park in Owego, and they have classic setup. It's like a curb height kind of ledge, flat, long, maybe 9 feet long, and next to that is a slightly taller ledge, long, sticks out on either side. Neither of which are tall enough for a bike to grind.
Yeah.
And that just like, it's like there's no way the people designing the park don't know that, okay, if it's at least 11 inches, a bike can grind it.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is 11 inches. And if you're only having, and this skate park only has one flat ledge, it's like, just make it at its lowest point 11 inches so a biker can ride it.
Yeah.
Or put a second ledge in.
Right.
Make one that's a bit taller, one that's a bit lower. It's a pretty simple number here. 8, 12, I don't mind if the smaller ledge is still that curb height, because for beginner skaters and scooter kids, like, a curb height tall ledge is an awesome feature. I think every skate park could have it. But if it's your only ledge, you just told, the second largest discipline of rider bikers to, sorry, bud.
Yeah. No, I mean, a manual pad's manual pad. Like, it's a good feature to have, but, like, you gotta have a proper ledge. It's crazy that there's still like bike exclusionary things. Like, we did in Dallas, there was, like, you ever see where they do, like, a skinny ledge with the rail kind of on top? It's only like an 8-inch wide ledge.
Yeah, House Park is like that in Austin.
Yeah, and it the only reason for that is to keep bikes off. There's no other reason. Like, it doesn't affect the way you skate it in any way. Yeah, but, like, there was one drawn into Dallas, and it was like 8 inches tall over the top. We were setting it up and figured it out to, like, it's a really sick 60/40 now, and, like, you can still, we made it tall enough to double peg, and made it a little bit wider to where your peg clears if you do front peg on, back peg on the ledge.
Oh, cool.
Like, nobody that skates it knows the difference.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that, I don't know, not factoring bikes into skate park design at this point in the game, like, give it up, guys. Like, we're here.
Yeah, right.
It just seems silly.
That's one of the things, like, every skate park I review, if it doesn't allow bikes, I'm going to make that part of the video. Especially, culturally, we've all been, maybe not all of us, but, like, mainstream culture has been very much about, diversity and inclusivity. That's been, like, the thing for, since at least 2015. It's been a decade of this stuff. And then it's like, and particularly skateboard culture claims to be very, like, inclusive, or at least tries to be. But then they're like, oh, yeah, but F bikes and screw scooter kids.
Right.
It's like, bro. Like, It's just another example of someone who likes inclusivity, but only their particular version of inclusivity, right? Like, and it's just as a biker, it bothers me. As a skate park owner, it bothers me because you're like, I know how many bikers come in here. They're just as passionate as skateboarders.
Right.
In my experience, bikers are more likely to travel farther distance to ride new parks.
Yeah.
So while bikes always have been about 15% of my regular traffic, I do get a disproportionate amount of bikers who come from farther away than skaters.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's a cool cool stat to have, though, for sure.
I love statistics and I love data, and that's like what I'm trying to bring into the skate park world.
Yeah.
And, down the road, I hope to do skate park consulting. Like, there's probably, like, I love economics, and this is like an economics thing. You could look at a population density, and you could look at skate parks, and you can come up with a basic formula of like, okay, and like I think this is something that design companies and design of your company, on the design side of the company you work for, should have a rough formula. So if a town comes to you and like, hey, we want to build a 5,000 square foot skate park, you should pretty quickly go look up the population of the towns in your area and go, listen, with population in your area of 500,000 people, and with we see about a 5% ridership, that puts about this many people. So you should build a park that's actually this size. We'll build it for 5, but you're going to have user conflict if it's not going to handle the traffic, and let alone saying if there's growth in the sport or not.
Right. Yeah, I mean, again, that end of the things I'm not super involved in, but like, and I don't know how much like sales team is taking that sort of thing into account.
That's crazy that there's a quote sales team
when
it comes to building skate parks. That's like a crazy, that even trips me up. I live in this world.
Yeah. I think I don't know how many we have at this point. It's like at least a dozen different regions of the country, and their whole job is travel around, and like if a town's interested in a park or showing interest or put out like a request for a proposal, to go out there, try to sell the city on us, and then visit a bunch of towns local and, hey, you guys want a skate park? Like that's wow. a lot of people's whole job.
More of those prefab ramps.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Yeah. I've had this epiphany recently after we've gotten multiple new skate parks in our area, and they just never seem to land for me. It doesn't hit quite right, and it put me into this little introversion retrospective like panic where I'm like thinking, when I was younger, was I so obsessed with riding and skating that no matter what I rode, I just thought it was awesome. I was just so pumped to ride. Everything was great, right? Because every park I go to now, I feel like it never is the sum of all its pieces, right?
Yeah.
You see it, you see the features, it looks awesome, and then you get there, and yes, every individual feature is cool, but it doesn't have this like cohesive experience of just riding the whole park. Like it doesn't.
Yeah.
It just doesn't like. So like, I guess my question is that in modern skate design, or was I romanticizing the stuff I rode when I was younger, or is it some amalgam of the two?
Definitely, I think, definitely somewhere in the middle, or yes to both. Like, it's as far as on the younger end, right? Like, did you have Sonic in your town growing up?
We have some Sonic, not growing up, but here we have Sonic.
Right, like, or any fast food that wasn't in your area and then came in later.
Oh yeah, and everyone thinks it's like,
and everything thinks it's amazing
because there's the one White Castle up in Sayreville.
Right, yeah. Like when I was growing, we never had a Sonic down there, and then they opened one down the shore probably when we were end of high school, early 20s,
remember they
whatever.
Put one in Waretown.
Yeah.
On exit 69 in the Parkway.
Yeah. You remember how good it was the first time you went? And then, like, there's Sonics around and they're fucking scrap.
Yeah.
Like, once something's available, you have something to compare it to. Yeah. And, like,
The grass is always greener situation.
Yeah, like that definitely has, and you have that, like, you know, Maple Shade was the first concrete park, like first real concrete park around. FDR was there, but that's a whole nother conversation.
As far as Jersey goes, it was like Sayreville and then Maple Shade were the only two, really.
And like Sayreville was 2 hours from me, went a couple of times, and then Maple Shade was there. Like, I'll always love Maple Shade. If I showed up to Maple Shade today, would my opinion of it be the same? Probably not.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, objectively, it's a cool bowl, and, like, it works and everything, but I don't think my opinion of it I wouldn't have that, like, deep-seated, like, love for the place.
Yeah. I mean, I'm the same way with Sayreville. Sayreville
Right.
Skate Park was my local, and I love the hell of that place. I see just pictures, even I look at my old pictures of it, and I'm like, ugh. It's like a really basic, boring street section, and these weird rounded hip things that don't really do anything.
Yeah. But now with the benefit of having things to compare it to, like, nothing's that sick, I think. And, like, maybe it's being old and, like, or older and, like, less enthusiastic on everything, and you get to be less appreciative of, like, mediocre stuff because there's something else around the corner. But also, like, there's very little interesting to me personally in, like, almost like 90% of new parks.
So the parks you build, you're personally not that interested in the design.
Yeah, I mean, like,
well, they're all plazas nowadays, right? And
I mean,
that's a young man's
we
style.
do. Yeah, we try to. I mean, now especially the more I've, like, taken over as foreman and, like, getting to do more, and, like, where I'm throwing things in parks that, like, are interesting because, like, the city deserves something interesting, right? Like, I don't think that you're doing anybody as, like, a kid. I don't think you're doing any kid a service by giving them a skate park that they can use everything in the first 2 years, right? Like, I don't think it makes sense to make everything geared towards someone learning. And everybody's different, sure, but, like, I like bikes because I'm terrible at it. Like, it's hard.
It is hard.
And, like I played football growing up. I was real good at it. I didn't care. It was just, like, I didn't have to do anything. I'm a big dude, and I move pretty well for a guy my size. I didn't have to work for it. Like, bikes were always hard, and it's always interesting, right? If you gave me, like, a mini ramp growing up and I could just ride a mini ramp every day, like, it's right there. It's easy. I'll go do something else. And that's why, like, we kind of talked earlier to where you're talking about how a lot of the kids you see now are, like, riding or skating is just one of several things that they're doing. And, like, how much of that is because it's just kind of easy. It's accessible, right? Which maybe it's not a bad thing that people have other interests, but they're breaking less boards and buying less boards and running through fewer tires if they're only riding sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, from, like, that aspect, it's, I don't know. Be more, I think, better to, like, capture someone's full interest.
Yeah, it seems like you're more on, like, the passionate artist's side of riding. I'm with you too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we differ a little bit in this domain, but that's just, I don't know.
There's a lot of ways to think about things.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm just all about the kids, and I just see the phones as such an existential threat. It's like I don't really. Yeah, I can see skate park design being lackluster down the road with less progression, but I don't know if that's where we're at right now. You know,
Yeah.
but still, like, it's always been like that. You know, you build. They used to build all these transition style parks. Now it's all plaza parks, and I've been saying this for a while now. Like, well, eventually, I think it's probable that the sports will change and plaza style will kind of be in less fashion, and flow will come back, and everyone's gonna be like, "What the heck?"
Right.
Oh, we got are these ledges and rails, and like finally people are gonna want to air quarter pipes, like.
Yeah, I mean, from my end, I think that likelihood is smaller by the chance that it costs more and is harder to build.
Yeah.
The transition stuff, like we've kind of hit a point where like the thing that is easiest to build, fastest to build, most reproducible is also the thing that everyone wants.
Convenient.
You know, and it's like that's what a street league course looks like. That's what an Olympic skate course looks like. So like, well, this is what a skate park looks like. Well, a shrunk down version of Olympic street course is not a good skate park to me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's super interesting. Because skate parks are weird because it's not just like anyone could look at a baseball field and tell you whether it's a good or bad baseball field, right? Skate park's not like that. There are very few. It's probably more similar to like ball golf or disc golf, where it's like it's very subjective and design can have such a huge effect on it, and even just like topography and just so much. And then even that's like so one park that's the best park you've ever ridden is just horrible for someone else. You know? It's
I definitely do recognize that like I have a very distinctive kind of view of riding and like set of capabilities on a bike. Like I can't ride a flat bar. I don't do any, like, I'm not one to like, the spot is the trick to me. So like the thing that I'm riding is always, I don't do tricks. So like having a perfect 4-stair down rail does very little to me. And like, I understand that a lot of people's brain works that way of like, I want to figure out every single thing that I can do on this like basic piece. It's like
I'm feeling personally attacked.
No, I don't like. I mean, like, I mean, we talked about Pat Quinn earlier. Like, I love watching Pat ride. We have like just as another big homie. Like, we have the absolute opposite. Style of everything. Okay.
There's a through line though, you know, because Pat, well, to some degree, I mean, Pat was very technical and was like pushing new tricks and stuff, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But he also understood there was the correct application. Right?
Yeah.
And as someone who didn't ride big stuff or transitions in radius, I'm gonna throw in another South Jersey name here, Jeff Slatterly.
Yeah.
Right. That was a BMX rider who was like a setup rider.
Mm-hmm.
He always jumped the most weird, unique stuff, but big. And I loved him because Pat and I were all about like, okay, we're gonna learn these grind combos at the skate park on the perfect setup, and then we're gonna try to find the ideal street spot that's set up perfectly for that trick.
Right.
So like what you're saying, you and Pat rode differently, but you had that same mindset where it's a relationship between the spot and the trick.
Yeah,
and sure. I would bring in third party with the cameras behind me, filming the videos I made. It triangulates it. So now it's the spot, the trick, and then filming it in a way that accentuates both the trick and the spot, so the viewer understands like, oh my god, that really was the perfect whatever. Like it's we're getting really nuanced here.
Yeah.
But like there are people who obsess about like pulled jams and storm doors or whatever. That was like a joke early on, and they're just like trying to find whatever they can do because it's a storm door.
Yeah.
Versus that real actual old school street rider who would find the storm door and go, oh, it's calling my name. That's the setup, right? And it's like they're getting to the same place, but one person is like forcing it and one person is letting it happen.
Right.
It seems like you're more the, let the ramp, let the bowl, let the corner tell me where I need to go, and like, yeah.
Yeah, for sure, in a sense, like, but yeah, I just think that giving putting things that can be more like more interpretive. But I guess you could make the argument that a flat bar is the limitlessly interpretive.
Well, even for skateboards, just flat concrete.
Yeah.
That's the thing that skateboarders always have over BMX is like, you can give a skateboarder just a nice, smooth parking lot, and a lot of them are going to be really happy. That's the thing with owning an indoor skate park here, where I charge for people to ride. A lot of skaters, like, more than 99 out of 100 times, they would literally rather ride smooth asphalt with a waxed curb than pay, $20, let alone $10 for a skate night.
Right. Never underestimate just good ground for a board. I mean, but that's something that we do try to like put into a park. This last project we did in Utah, like week before we were supposed to be done, the city was like, "Hey, you want to do another 4,000 or 5,000 square feet of park?" Oh yeah, sure. But did it, and like their office was trying to figure out, well, what can we fit in this space? We could pound a ton of crap into it. I was like, put a ledge and move the flat bar over there, because the flat bar was in a bad spot to begin with. We moved the flat bar over and made like 2 ledges kind of like side by side but staggered, so you can have one side of the other. Nice. Which I can't think of ever seeing in a concrete park, at least. But that was it. And then like we redesigned where there was supposed to be there's a mini ramp out there, and like just gave them a ton of flat and plenty of space for the flat bar, plenty of space for the ledge, and like it opened up the park so much. Like we didn't add very much in the way of features, but like that changed the whole dynamic of the park. Yeah. Because now anybody that's trying to just ride that flat bar is off in a corner doing flat bar things. That opens up this whole space where they were going to be standing in the,
Yeah, definitely will minimize what I would call user conflict. Yeah. A lot of these new parks seem to not have enough deck space. Yeah. So then, and that's a problem. Like, we were talking about that one park in Brick, New Jersey I reviewed. There's literally no deck space. Yeah. Like, it would actually be impossible to hold a jam in that skate park, especially because it has like a 10-foot fence and like a turnstile to get in. Like, you would have to do like everyone outside and one ride, like 2 riders. Like, it's just like, what?
Yeah.
Why? Like,
that it has
people,
to...
If you build a 10,000 square foot skate park, you have to presume it's going to be able to handle like 30 people, 40 people. Where the F are they going to stand? Yeah. Where are they going to be? Like, that new park in Perrington we have is like that. It's like there's literally the deck space where you're waiting is like maybe 3 feet, maybe 4 feet wide, and if you're on a bike trying to get past someone on a bike and it's only 4 foot, it's like impossible. Yeah, there's less and less thought about of actual usability and function, I think, put into everything, and that's a big thing. Like, big thing we try to do. Like, changed a bunch of things around back to that Dallas job. That was a Team Payne design, and like there was like so little deck space for a 45,000 square foot park. Like, there's room for 45 is huge.
Yeah, it was massive.
My skate park, if you guys have been here, is 22,000. So it'd be double. Yeah. That's huge.
Yeah, it was a massive project. It was a nightmare. It was great. Came out, but it was a difficult one. But yeah, and it's little differences, making the like a deck 5 feet wide instead of 2. Like, what is a 2-foot deck doing for you? And that was splitting the street course and a snake run. So it was ramp on both sides. Yeah. But like not spinable, not usable one side or the other, because you're like going into a snake run, and it was, but like 2 feet wide, like you can't, that's one whole half of this 45,000 square foot park that you can't stand on without being in somebody else's way.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Like, that's just silly. Like, who's thinking this is okay? So we spread it out, made it work. A million other things on that thing, but.
So, have you built parks for most of the design companies, all of them out there?
No, like I said, most of our stuff's design build.
Okay.
I think I have very early on. We did a park for Spawn. Done the team paint, like 2 team paint designs. We're getting ready to do a CA design. That's about it.
Well, in your opinion, which company is like designing the best parks these days? Or is it more about the community input? Like, are they just building what people ask for, or like, but with like?
Man, it's hard to say. Even like, I think it's some of the smaller guys truly are building the like, doing cool and interesting stuff. Hunger, real small operation out of Indiana. He's actually got a biker on the crew, Alex Vasquez, if you remember that name from Tulsa back in the day. But they do really, like, they're at least doing different stuff.
Okay. What is this? Hunger?
Yeah, Hunger Skateparks.
See if I follow them.
It's not going to be for everybody, but they do a good job of getting the basics right and getting the basics right for beginners and doing stuff that's more advanced in the same space.
I'm not following them. Oh, you know what? I've seen that logo suggested to me.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take a look at some of this stuff. Oh, I see 2-tone colored concrete here.
Yeah, I mean, you have to at this point because everybody else
that's
does.
Cool.
But
I see some hips and stuff.
Yeah, and
some flowy stuff, some flow that kind of works in with street features.
Yeah, and they've done, I think, the best of like Bart. Like Bart's the guy that runs that, Bart Smith. He's an interesting cat for sure. He's like a big dude, ripper of a skater. Like rides this crazy 29er like rigid mountain bike thing around.
Nice.
And so he like definitely has a relationship with riding and like factors it into things. I think he takes it a little. He thinks every bike is his giant weird 29er, so it's got to be mellow. But
this one, have you seen the skate park in Columbia City, Illinois?
Sure I have, but I can't think offhand.
It is freaking sweet.
Yeah, they do really cool. It's like they're doing their own. Like Bart does Bart, and like that. Again, it's not for everybody. Not everything has to be for everyone. But there's going to be a good flat bar at that park. There's going to be a ledge where everything else might be like kind of gnarly transition stuff. Like you can do both things well. I think I personally try to make sure that all things are like
this
as
is pretty
best
good.
they could be.
For other people, you can grab Hunger. It's Hunger_Skateparks skate parks on the gram, and their parks look similar to a lot of modern designs, but there's definitely a little more like flow and interesting connections and little like fun bowls. It looks pretty good.
Yeah.
It seems like a lot of his work is in Indiana.
Yeah, I think he's from Bloomington or something to that effect. Real interesting dude. Like lives in a cabin out in the woods in middle Indiana. Like had all his kids in the cabin by themselves, type of thing. But really rad dude. He did blame bikes for getting that skate park torn down lately, but
which one?
Kokomo. I got a little bit of a bone to pick with that. Did you see that Kokomo,
No.
Indiana?
Okay.
It was older. I can't remember who. It was probably Grindline or something, but it had the whole pipe with an elbow in it.
Okay.
Like 90-degree turn inside of a full
Okay.
pipe. Corey and Jason Watts did like that crazy over-under line through it, if you'll remember. That thing just got torn out.
The whole park or just
The whole park.
Oh, wait. Well,
Hunger just did a park in that town, a new one, and I guess the city said like they weren't going to tear it down.
so they
both
built a new
of
one
them
and they took out the old one.
immediately. And just reading comments on the Instagram, like, everybody was like, yo, Bart, what the fuck? Like, where were you? Like, you've been dealing with this city. Like, what just happened? You know? And he said they told him they weren't going to tear it down, yada, yada. And then went on to say, well, there were a lot of problems with the park. It was getting old, and we offered to fix it, but some biker said that he didn't want us to fix it because he liked the way it was or some shit. Which doesn't make any sense.
One random person can yeah, okay.
Yeah, which, like I said, I like Bart. That was a little sideways, but I don't know the whole story.
Interesting.
But that rubbed me a little, But they do good work. And like I said, Alex works for him, I think, still. That dude was a ripper. If you ever, I don't know. Can't even remember where to. OG Tulsa dude. But.
So of all the parks that you've built, which one was your favorite? Or at least if you think about it, what's like the one you built you'd love to just go back to and get a session?
Well, after this, I'm going to Montauk on Long Island, very tip of Long Island.
Oh yeah, the tip of Montauk Point.
That's a favorite that I've worked on. It's really, it is really dense, but it's Montauk. There's no people there. So, it gets busy, but, the way that you couldn't build that park in a city where there's a lot of people the way that we did it, because it's really, dense, and there's just shit everywhere.
A lot of bowls and stuff.
Yeah.
That park looks awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool, and there's, lines around the outside. You can go everywhere from everywhere, but you can piece it together when it's busy, but, that was kind of an example like you're talking about of, knowing where you are. That thing could not work downtown in a real city.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It'd be chaos.
It's way out there.
But for where it is, there's a skate shop in town. There's probably half a dozen people that, skate in town.
Yeah.
Everybody else is coming in from somewhere else. So,
yeah, it's a tourism thing, yeah.
Yeah, so it works, and, that thing's super fun.
Looks fun. Put it on my list.
Yeah.
According to Google, it's 7 hours and $24 in tolls if I go right now.
You can get there quicker if you take the ferry. Drive to New London, Connecticut, and then...
Oh, interesting.
And it's cheaper, I think.
Note taken.
But...
That you built that? You built that one?
Yeah. That was one that we did in 2021, I think. And then... this Dallas park... we did last year. I still hate it because of how much of a nightmare it was, but in a year, that'll probably be my favorite park that I worked on. I was still a little it was my first park taking over running the crew, and four of the 6 people that I've been working with for about 5 years all dropped out in quick succession, 3 of them being 2 weeks before that job started.
Oh, jeez.
And all for there was no drama with the company or anything. 2 of them are a married couple, and they found the house that they've been looking to buy forever and just had to jump on it and dip. It wasn't
yeah, just life.
Yeah, just life stuff. It was, but I got left with one guy I've been working with for a few years, and Kyle, who I don't know if he's still in there or not, but he'd worked on one park previous, and a couple kids. And then I hired Lil John.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, which has been awesome. That's been sick as hell, but it was a huge uphill battle, that whole job. 8 months in Dallas, over the summer.
Oh.
It was it was not fun. But we got through it. We made it work. And it is
Dallas skate park's open now?
Yeah, it's Bachman Lake Skate Park.
Bachman Lake Skate Park. Can you pull it up, Jamie?
But yeah, that was really cool. It was a team paint design.
And this is the 40,000 square foot one?
Yeah.
Doesn't look 40,000 square feet.
Yeah, There's a lot of concrete out there.
Oh, I didn't see the whole second snake run thing.
Yeah.
Oh, and then
And there's another pool
and
up
there's
top,
a bowl over on the back corner there.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's a lot of skate park right there.
Yeah. And it was a nightmare from day 1 to day 8 months. It was, like I said, it was Team Hain design, which obviously not ideal. They do great, they do great work, but doing somebody else's design is not ideal. And then, since they knew they weren't building it, they put it off to a third-party civil engineer to do all the construction documents.
Okay.
And this dude ostensibly never seen a skate park before.
Oh, no.
So, like, I just start laying things out and looking at grades and looking at elevations of things, and, like, there's, like, 2 feet of difference between the bank here, like, bank's coming down, towards me. It's, like, sloping at, like, 6% grade going sideways for no reason. Like, the flat is just, like, crazy swales and crazy angles everywhere. Like, just, like, we never want to put any flat more than, like, 2% slope. It's like, I do everything at 1.5%. There was, like, 6, 7. It was crazy. Like, feet of fall between a quarter pipe 20 feet away and the bank that it would lead to. You know what I mean? Like, just unusable. All the, like, all the decks around the bowls are drained into the bowl. Well, there's coping with reveal on the bowl. They can't do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, stupid stuff like that. But literally, I had to go through line by line and re-engineer this entire skate park by hand. Like, that, I'm a caveman that shoots concrete out of a hose. Like, that's not what I do, but, like, made it work. Yeah. And then, like, I don't have real plans to give anybody else to, like, hey, do this. So I have to set everything up for people. I was just working double shifts for 6 months. Like, jeez. Minimum 16 hours a day, 7 days a week for months. Because I had to do, like, my job, all the things that my new job entailed, and then, like, the things that I would have done previous. Like, all the dirt work and getting things ready ahead of people. Wow. It was not really a sick time. But, we made it work. And, like I said, it's growing on me, the park, but, like, in a year, that'll be probably the favorite one I worked on.
And you said you are starting a project that's going to be a year-long project. You said they're going to be the biggest skate park in America?
Maybe.
Probably.
It's very sporadic, but right now, I don't know if this is even how much I'm supposed to be talking about it, but, like, one of the projects on the list is somewhere in the Phoenix metro area, and it's meant to be twice the size of Dallas. And that'll be multiple crews within the company working on it side by side. But that said, we never really know where we're going until I'm on my way. Has
everyone that's ever been involved with designing or trying to get a skate park built or whatever, you just never know.
Yeah.
How long it's going to take.
Very, like, I've heard about a lot of parks that just haven't come through.
That was like Rochester. It took like 13 years.
Yeah, especially something on that scale. One redesign could be a 5-year process to get, like, reapproved or whatever. Right now we're heading to Boise, and that'll be about 6 months worth of work, but we're obviously heading into winter and do a couple months, come back in the spring. But there's, no shortage of work, for sure.
All right, well, I have one last question for you.
Yeah.
Because, believe it or not, we're already damn near 2 hours in.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, when you're days of shooting concrete out of a hose like a caveman are over. When those days are behind you and you're an old man, and hopefully the rough work hasn't taken too much a toll on your body. What part of your current nomadic skate park building lifestyle and profession will you look back on most fondly?
Just being able to do stuff like this. Like, I mean, you asked me to asked me to maybe do a podcast sometime in the future, right? Like, didn't put much time frame on it and whatever. And I was like, well, wrapping up one job, had some time between, like, I got nowhere to be. I don't have a house. Like, not really, I don't need to be anywhere, so I could kind of just do things as they come. And so, like, happened to be that Aceto here had some time also, and, like, got him out to Utah, drove to Washington, drove to Boise, flew here, going to Montauk, going to see family, and just having that, like, I mean, obviously work takes up a ton of my life, but having nothing else is, like,
A lot of freedom.
Yeah, a lot of freedom now, and it's like, it's getting to the point where that's like, I mean, the novelty of that's maybe wearing off, and like maybe it'd be cool to, like.
How old are you?
36.
Okay.
And like, I got a couple more years of this in me, I think, but like, gears are turning of like, it was never meant to be forever.
You want to settle down?
It'd probably be nice, like.
When was the last time you had, a home?
I mean, it's not been that long. It's only been, I had a house with my ex-girlfriend till end of last year. But, like, I mean, we were in that lease for 15 months. I think I slept there 4 times.
Yeah.
You know.
So okay, let me rephrase that. Like, when I say home, I mean, like, a place that felt like home.
I mean, I moved to Salt Lake almost 10 years ago, and I was there for 6 months, and that's the longest I've ever been there. Like, I've been, like, the road is home at this point.
Yeah.
Like, long job or short job, that's just where it does, like, this is life at this point.
Yeah.
Which is great. I mean,
well, being
enjoying
that you've
it.
traveled the whole country, built skate parks everywhere, if you had it your way, where would you settle down?
I don't know yet. Like,
Not South Jersey?
I mean, there's an argument to be made. FDR is still the greatest skate park in the world.
FDR, yeah.
By far.
Wow.
Best place to ride a bike in the world. I mean, for me. And like, I don't know. It's a pretty convenient zone down there. But I don't know. I haven't quite figured out yet. Like, I was just Bellingham, Washington. Bellingham's really rad. Northwest in general is cool. But I haven't, like, haven't found anywhere that, like, I liked enough to stay yet.
Certainly not Dallas.
Certainly not Dallas. Last on the list. Worst place I've ever been to in my life. I've been a lot of places. Dallas is my least favorite place I've ever been to. I love a lot of you that live there, but fuck that place. I wanted to start watching football just to be an Eagles fan, just to hate Dallas more. You know what I mean? Like,
you're in Bills country up here.
Yeah. I've played football. I don't need to watch that shit, but, strictly out of spite. So I can go Eagles or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I love Salt Lake. It's really rad. I've not spent enough time because I've been traveling, but every time I'm there, it's great. Like, I mean, it's a weird little scene, but Elf's there and Elf's always riding. That's the sickest dude out by far. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I have property in Utah, like out in the middle of nowhere, but like, so it would kind of lead me to live somewhere in the state, but I don't know. I'm not made it that far. Like,
just gonna keep traveling and building skate parks, doing the Lord's work out there.
yeah, pretty much. I mean, we're having a good time now, and
there is just hundreds of people that are enjoying the fruits of your labor that don't even know who you are.
yeah,
You're like a modern day saint.
they were probably all shitbags, so I'll take that.
Thank you so much for flying to Rochester to shape your trip around being on the show. We could have done it remotely, but it's great to see you. I haven't seen you in 10 years.
I'd have been way worse at doing this. I was bad enough. I'd have been way worse over the phone.
Yeah. I mean, you did a good job. It was pretty good. Chris did a good job, too.
Thanks.
You have really pretty eyes.
Thank you so much.
He knows. You don't got to tell him.
Come on. That's all I got.
Is there anyone you want to shout out or anything you care to tell anyone if you want people to follow you on Instagram or your company you work for or whatever? Like,
I mean, I don't.
Guy.
Yeah, I don't really like. I'm on Instagram way too much, but I don't really post anything. But Baboon_IR, Pivot Custom for the company. Again, I don't post shit, but someone does.
Yeah.
Otherwise, yeah, I mean, stay building shit. Do your own thing. Like, I know there's a lot of skate parks, but like, go build jumps in the woods. Go build some shitty stuff in your backyard.
DIY.
Yeah, and more BMX DIY stuff. Concrete wise, take Corey's lead. That dude kills it. Like, yeah, build your own fun. Steal shit from Crandall.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all the listeners. It's pretty good. We had a decent amount of concurrent viewers this entire episode, more than usual. Usually, like in the live, I don't really get a lot of traction.
Mm-hmm.
You know, obviously the goal is to do this podcast for a while, and eventually the live show will be fun.
Yeah.
But this is one of the most lively chats. Your nephew said you can shout out my butt, so that's
shout out Mikey's butt.
It's pretty good.
And Max and Paige.
Oh, it looks like Kyle has been in this chat for the whole duration of the episode.
Hell
2
yeah,
hours.
Kyle. Love you, bud.
Shout out.
He's
Anyway,
the best.
Thank you, everyone, for watching. Thank you.
Yeah, thank
Everyone
you,
for being
man.
here. Thank you, Chris.
Been a
Other
pleasure.
Chris for sitting in the cuck chair for the episode. You guys know the deal. Like, share, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. You know all the stuff. Patreon, blah, 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 blah. If you made it to the end of the show, thank you very much. If you want to be on the show, reach out to me. I'm actually kind of dried up on guests right now. So I have a lot of people I'm in talks with, but it's hard to coordinate a time.
Yeah.
Like, I have a guy who owns a skate park in Australia,
Oh, yeah.
and he's going to come on, but they're like, if it's 9 p.m. here, it's like 10 a.m. tomorrow there.
Yeah.
So then logistically, that gets a little bit weird.
Right.
So I have a kid coming on next week. Kid, I don't know. He's in college. I assume he's a kid. 'Cause I'm 40, you know?
Yeah.
He wanted to interview me as a school project.
Oh, sick.
Interview a business owner. I said, hey, do you want to do it live as a podcast?
Yeah.
And he said, that sounds awesome. I'm like, I was surprised he said that. So next week, I'm going to have a college student interviewing me as a business owner.
Damn, get to sit from this side.
Yeah.
That's sick.
So that'll be fun.
Yeah, awesome.
That'll be a video episode, but yeah.
Yeah.
Again, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you. Thanks for all you do, man. It's like getting out here doing the thing.
I'm
keeping it alive.
Trying my freaking hardest. People don't, it's like I said, people are riding parks that you build, they don't know.
Yeah.
People are riding my park, they know I build it. They just don't know how much time, energy I put into this.
Yeah.
How many times I end up sitting in my car fucking crying like, fuck, how am I going to keep making this fucking thing work?
Yeah. You'd never know. It's, yeah.
Yeah.
Come to the skate park, guys.
I knew I couldn't make it through an episode without crying. Take it easy, guys.